Hey viewers, welcome to Chunner Checks It Out. My name's Chunner, and in this video, I'm going to be watching Anohana, episode 9. In the last episode, we saw that the group went to the Honma residence to try and potentially ask Mrs. Honma, Menma's mom, to ask Menma's dad, Mr. Honma, because he is in charge of the police force or a person on the police force, and they want to ask him to say it's okay for them to purchase some fireworks as they think that this might be what Menma's wish is. And what they find out is that Menma's mom actually kind of resents them because they're still alive and Menma is not. And so she's kind of holding a grudge against them. So she's dealing with her own issues. And we also see Jinta decide to, who has been a shut-in for, it seems like a little bit, has now decided to go out and not only get one job, but he gets a second job so that he can pay for some of these fireworks. And he uses his connections of his childhood friends, of Naruko and Popo, and is able to work where they are working. And he's picking up all these extra shifts. And Menma is seeing this and feeling really happy for Jinta because Menma is seeing the work that Jinta is trying to hide from her to purchase these fireworks. Everyone still doesn't really believe that Menma is alive, but we find out as a huge drop in the last episode. And we've seen this, I guess, in some of the other episodes. I just haven't really picked up on it. And we see that Menma is actually kind of seems to be able to manipulate inanimate objects. She's able to move the curtains, or maybe press some buttons, or bump the table. And so we see this when she walks in and people just brush that off as, oh, it was just the wind, or oh, that's just a random occurrence, and not really thinking that anyone's there when it was actually, in fact, Menma who is causing these things. So we find out that Menma calls everybody when Jinta is not at home, and she uses the phone from Jinta's house. And when Jinta goes to meet up with everybody, they're like, oh, why did you call us at 5 o'clock and not say anything? And she called everybody, and Jinta was like, oh, nobody was home at that time. And they're all kind of blaming it on his imaginational Menma that he has because he's been a shut-in for so long. And Menma is able to write in the diary and push the diary off the table when they are all not looking. And they read the diary and realize that this is probably Menma that's around. What a crazy story. I'm like kind of getting teary-eyed just talking about it. It was just a fantastic episode. So yeah, let's just go ahead and watch episode 9 and see what happens now. Now they're all going to be on Jinta's side and say that Menma is actually alive. And is it these fireworks that's Menma wants to put their wishes on the fireworks? And it seemed like she wanted to maybe help Jinta's mom because Jinta's mom was in the hospital. And that's why she wanted to create these fireworks in the first place. So yeah, and I feel like we still don't really know a whole lot about Tsuruko and Popo. So yeah, let's see if we find out more about them. Yo, yo, yo. Let's check it out. She has this floating dish.
ドヤ顔で
ごめん、私寒くなってきた。やめてよ、気持ち悪い。ポポは大きいから一番大きいやつね。はい。
うまいぜメンバー。
よかった。もう一回そして。
待てよ。
つるこ苦しい。つるこ。
なんかすげえ眠たい今。
そうね。 力が抜けるっていうか。
Oh,
どう
like
したよ
this is crazy,
メン
right?
マ許してないからこそ責めるために現れたってこともあるかもよ。そうすれば会話もできたし、す
Well,
ぐに
she
信
didn't
じ
know
られ
that
た。
she could do that.
ジンタンもメンマも結構抜けてっからな。
メンマのこと信じろだなんて結局は独り占めしたかったんだ。
What
久
are you
川、安
talking
城、
about,
バイト
Yukiatsu?
代はちゃんと貯めとけよ。絶対にメンマを成仏させる。
雪圧。
あんだけはしゃげばそりゃ疲れるよな。
She's gonna grab him.
お前起きて。
ありがとう、ジンタン。ありがとう。
お願いします。
やっぱり私
諦めらんねえよな。日給高いからそっちに出たくて。
Is that Menma's
こんに
dad?
ちは。
君たちはあいつはまだ過去に生きている。メイコがああなってしまって、それから時間が少しも動いていない。
娘さんがメイコさんが好きでした。メイコさんのために何かがしたいんです。俺も過去に生きたままだから。だからこそ俺。
あんな格好悪いことするなんてびっくり。
俺だってびっくりだ。
メンマのためだったらなんだ。
鶴子、
いいの。
Would Yukiatsu do anything for
信じてるんな
Suzuko?
ら。そうだよ。みんなと一緒に頑張りたいんだよ。
はいはい、みんなと一緒にいたいってさ。
美人か。
何言ってんだよ。
何するママって。
うるせえ。うるせえバカ。ママなんだよお前は。
雪圧が壊れた。
本当ですか。
ああ、作ってやるよ。
やったー。おじさん、よろしくお願いします。
おう。
お願いします。
悪い悪い。
Why does it have to be so
これが
big
竹
of
筒
these
から出てくるんだよ。
fireworks?
すごいすごいすごい。ジータンもうできた。
今お前の背中に飛び乗った。
メンマ見えないのに見える。見える。私叶わない。昔も今だって叶わない。
If Yukiatsu knows, wouldn't Sudoku know?
よ、
Although she confessed to Yukiatsu.
お前が逃げ出してくれて、俺も叫び出しそうだったから。
Is this gonna be a weird thing where it's Yukiatsu and Naruko and then Sudoku and, well, I mean, it could be Sudoku and Jinta. Yeah, I'm not sure. I feel like maybe it would be more like Popo and Naruko and Sudoku and Yukiatsu. I don't know. That's just kind of interesting.
なんなの？あんたのその人を見透かしたような態度。
見透かせるのはお前だけ。似た者同士のシンパシーってやつか。悪かったって。俺たち付き合ってみるか。
And then now Sudoku is gonna see this?
ざけんな。
ナイスミドル。
あんたね。
Now Sudoku gets messed up twice. Does Yukiatsu know that Sudoku likes him? I don't know. Probably not. I feel like he would know. But then also I feel like, honestly, Jinta kind of gets along with Sudoku. But then that leaves Popo out. Although Popo, I feel like, doesn't really care. And I feel like Sudoku could be with Popo as well.
ここだな。
I feel like Jinta, unfortunately, is, in the end, Jinta is going to be by himself.
あなる家に帰ったのか。さあ、もういきなり気まぐれ子猫ちゃんだぜ。まったくよ。ここにいたいっていいか。お、そうか。だって嬉しいんだもん。嬉しいんだよな。メンマ、夏の獣なんて思った。かけた。メンマいるか。
でもお家のノートだと書けないの。どうしてだろうね。
もっと書いてくれよ。あの日お前さ、あの時その俺のこと
He wants to
しりとり
know something Did Popo like Menma as well? What's down there? Did Menma fall in the water again?
メンマは多分秘密基地にいる。嫌だ。メンマがいなくなるなんて絶対に嫌だ。
ジンターが死んじゃったら絶対嫌だよ。
お前だって死んでるじゃねえか。
ほんとだ。川にね、すっごい大きいのいたの。メンマね、近くで見たくって。
やめろ！
Menma's gonna disappear if she goes into the water?
ずっとここにいろよ。
Does he know? Is she going to disappear if she goes into the water? So that was more of a kind of shock moment for the group, as Jinta kind of in his mind thought that Menma was around, but it's no different because the others in the group obviously were kind of still a little skeptical because they couldn't see Menma, but seeing all these things that Menma can do as a spirit, they believe that, oh, Menma is probably around, like 99% sure that Menma is around. And now they're wondering why Jinta was the one that can see Menma. So now they're really all in on trying to make this wish happen and trying to figure out how to get Menma to move on. I feel like the longer that Jinta is around Menma and can see Menma, he's starting to get more and more attached to basically the past. The present is that Naruko likes Jinta and Tsuruko likes Yukiatsu, but both of them like Menma. The boys potentially are stuck on the past and the girls are trying to keep it in the future, but realize that they're kind of competing against a ghost, and the ghost was a goat. No one could compete with Menma in the past and even in the present, even though she's not even around. Yeah, kind of an interesting episode, seeing more of the backstory and wondering in the end what the relationships are going to be like of this story. And that doesn't mean that it has to be permanent, but I really wonder. Obviously, it seems that Tsuruko likes Yukiatsu, and Tsuruko and Yukiatsu seem like a pretty good fit for each other. The same with Naruko and Jinta, and I'm not sure what's going on again with Popo and Tsuruko. We still don't really know anything about them, and so I'm wondering if there is anything there, or that's going to be some kind of twist in the last couple episodes as we wind down. Yeah, so I'm wondering, I feel like there's a little thing kind of developing between Yukiatsu and Naruko. I feel like Naruko had a pretty good relationship with Popo as well. And I feel like ultimately, while you want Jinta to like Naruko, he's just kind of stuck on Menma. It's not that I feel like Jinta opposes Naruko, it's just that Jinta liked Menma more. So I'm wondering if that's going to kind of be like a one-sided relationship, kind of like ultimately the story of, a Naruto spoiler here, but it's kind of the Sasuke Sakura story, where it's just kind of a one-sided relationship there for pretty much So yeah, very interesting to see that. Yeah, I'm just really wondering how this story is going to end. I'm assuming that maybe the fireworks are going to let Menma move on. And maybe also we saw at the end, it seemed like maybe Jinta figured out eventually if Menma stepped into the water, that would be another way for Menma to move on. So I'm wondering if that's going to be playing a part in that as well. Yeah, we'll see. Let me know in the comments below. Tell me if you like this episode. Like, comment, subscribe, and we'll see you in the next one. Thanks for watching. Bye.